What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Tisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Guys, we're about to beat a dead horse here. This topic is definitely inspired from the last video I did about Russell Wilson, of a woman telling other women it's time to date corny men.
This is the year to get a corny man, okay? We're moving on. That's the new groove. If you corny, you are for me. Russell Wilson, think like that. You want a man that want to go to school, want to study, want to have a steady job. You're going to look up in that corny dude who was working a 9 to 5, going to school and all that stuff. You're going to look up and 10 years later, he going to own the store. He going to own the McDonald's.
And what does she qualify as corny? They'll have a steady job, settled in their career, won't have a bunch of kids out of wedlock like the POOKIes. What a community we have where if you are a man who's committed to making healthy decisions now so you can benefit in the future, you're labeled as corny. And I said in that video that it should not matter what that woman or any woman who thinks like her, who labels a man like that as corny, thinks. Now, the problem is I saw a lot of comments of people saying, well, you should care what your woman thinks. I was confused by that response because I'm thinking, your woman? Why is she your woman? No man should be entertaining a woman for a serious relationship who views him as corny. Guys, I did not mean it doesn't matter how a woman views you, you should invest in her. No, of course not. If you've been watching me for a while now, you know we don't do that, man. We don't even take those women seriously. You know what happens to a lot of these chicks out here? These women who double back. The women who double back to the guys who they put in the category of, oh, I'll save you later when you're doing better, but I'll be back. I want the guy who's more fun, exciting, but I'll be back. You just stay right there. Most times when these girls come back to these guys, they're getting led on, used and abused for that cat. I'm not saying this is what you should do. I'm telling you the truth, and you know it. You know it. I have a bunch of examples of that here on my channel. Like this chick.
He was over an hour late for our date. Over an hour late to our date. I should have known then to just cancel the shit because you're not respecting my time. However, I overlooked it because I'm like, oh my God, I've known this person since high school, you know, and he's communicating with me, letting me know like, hey, I'm going to be, you know, this amount of minutes late. Like, you know, he's calling me, texting me, letting me know what's up because there's traffic. You know, we live here in LA. Shit happens. He's coming off work, whatever. So I was cool with it. I was like, all right, cool. You're being communicative. Like, I'll still continue the date. He comes to pick me up over an hour late. And when I get in the car, we hug. Hey, nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Like, you know, good to see you. Right. And then I let him know like, hey, like you're an hour late. Like next time, like, please don't show up so late because like, I won't like go on a date. Like I was being firm. I wasn't being condescending. I wasn't yelling. I wasn't being aggressive. None of that shit. I was just letting him know like, hey, I'm a very punctual person.
Are we going to believe that? I'm jumping to that conclusion. I'm sensing the energy right now that she's giving us.
And do you know that this man turned his car around? Like, I'm taking you back home. Like, who do you think you are telling me that I can't be late picking you up to a date? I drove 30 minutes to pick you up and I paid for these tickets and blah, 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 blah. And who do you think you are? Who the I think I am, sir? Like, this is why they warn you, don't ever date the person that has chased you for a long time, that has wanted you for a long time, because they're usually crazy. I jumped out of a halfway moving car tonight because I could not get away from this man fast enough. And I left his door wide open and he like busts up in the middle of the street and like peels off. What the is wrong with you, men? Are you seriously mad because someone told you don't be an hour late to picking them up? Chasing for over 20 years finally gives you the time of day. I feel like this is one of those moments where he had it in his mind the whole time to play in my face because he wanted to get back at me from 20 years ago or something. Now, mind you, this is not an ex. I've never done anything to this man. I've never slept with him, never kissed him, never like curved him in any type of way, never played with this man's emotions. But I feel like because he didn't have access to me for over 20 years, when he finally got the opportunity, he wanted to like show me who's boss.
What we have in today's video is a woman explaining why a lot of women out here let the lame guy who they want a long-term relationship with, just not right now because they want to bounce on another man's joystick wait, right? They make that guy wait, and why they let the toxic guy smash with the quickness, with no hesitation, and give it all to him with no crumbs left. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
How come, you'll give it to a whack dude before and then make a good guy wait? I don't think that you're trying to make the good guy wait. I think that you want him to see the value in you. Sometimes I'm like, all right, if I give it to him too soon, he's going to think, like I'm not a good girl, or there's no, like, I'm just a quick, easy F or whatever. And I think that's sometimes what women will do. They'll make the guy that they really like wait longer, because that's who they really like see potential in. I might see a husband in you. And just like men, like see certain women like, oh, she's wifing with.
Imagine somebody looking at you and saying, you know what? I see a husband in you, so I'm not going to give you what you want. You're going to have to work for this. But that guy over there, Pookie, gets to hit for free. He's going to get this gift. But first, I want him to play with it for a little bit. You get it second hand. Mercy. That's bitter coffee. Put that coffee down.
Put that coffee down.
Or, she's just somebody I'm going to smash. I think women are able to do that as well. Like, he's got a lot of good qualities. He got some good stuff going for himself. I'm gonna just, let me see how it goes. Let me make him wait for it. And then, hopefully you guys can build on the relationship more instead of just the sexual, and then it can blossom into something else.
Women don't want to be confused by the sex, and they actually want to get to know, is this a good dude? Like, should I continue down this road? Because with some people, like, the sex can cloud your judgment on what a person is or what they could be, So I would think that may have something to do with it as far as waiting.
I think that's a good example too.
That's real.
Those are all horrible examples. None of this makes sense. None of it. Absolutely zero. And then she used the example of men will smash girls who they don't want serious relationships with. But there's only one difference. Men value your low body count. It does matter how many men you've slept with, and you can't hide it. Women are affected, right? They admit in that same sentence that, like, oh, sex clouds your judgment and messes your mind up. So it's not going to mess your mind up when the toxic guy, especially when he's beating you from the back. Oh, yeah, no, that's therapeutic. I can think clear when he's doing it. That makes no sense. And it doesn't go both ways. You know how I know it doesn't go both ways? And there's a second video here, guys, that we're about to get into, because don't forget that what I said before still stands. Russell Wilson is very popular because he represents an archetype of the majority of single women out here looking for a husband. And I mean the desperate ones, the modern women out here looking for a husband to step up and take care of the kids they created with the guy who they gave it all up to. They gave it all up to that guy. There was a post that I saw recently, was shared on Spiritual Word, and it asked the ladies, it said, ladies, what can you give your future husband that you have not given to another man? What can you give your husband that you have not given to another man? Is there anything left? Is there anything left after a decade in the streets and you trying to get wifed up before you hit 35? Is there anything left that a man would value? What scraps are you giving the man who is going to treat you the best? Check out some of these responses from these chicks. What do you guys think these women had to say? This woman says, a much more healed, wiser, mature version of myself. Okay, let's break this down. Healed version. So means you've learned from lessons. Okay, let's break that comment down. Healed version. So that means you've had trauma and you went to therapy, good for you. But you know what would have been better than that? Not being so badly messed up after leaving Pound Town that you needed to heal before you went to go find your husband. This is not me talking about life lessons and the things we all learn. No. But when I read healed, what most men see when they read that is that you're just racking bodies and experiencing a whole lot of trauma. Wiser, in what way? You got a degree, or what are we talking about here? Because men don't really care about that. So this is usually the type of response you get from a woman who's headed to or has already hit the wall. Oh no, you don't want the 25 version of me. I was just difficult and didn't take any shit, and I was so arrogant. Yeah, but now she's set in her ways. Now she's not settling, right? Now she's hard-headed. Here's another comment from another woman who got asked, what are you going to give your future husband that you haven't given to another man? She says, it's a surprise. Another person here said, this might sound weird, but I'm saving for marriage. Guys, women have given everything. They've traded all valuable goods to Pookie, Tyrone, Chad, or just, a dude who they thought they deserved and he really was just trying to play him, man with game. But they've given up everything, and the only thing they have left is their butthole. You may say, Chisha, that's way too much. Why even talking like that? No. Another chick here said, my butthole. This is real life. Like, I'm telling you guys, they're running out of options. They realize like, oof, I've done it all. I'll tell you right now, if your butthole is the only valuable thing you have to trade out here for a man to view you as a wife worth investing in, there's no hope. Drink the coffee. Another person says, this is a gentleman, smells refurbished in here. That is true. A lot of these chicks are like used iPhones, more like Androids, that are trying to trick you into paying more than they're actually worth. Yeah, that's crazy. But back to something that last chick said there. She said, men do it too. They'll entertain women who they don't plan to commit to long term. And so women should be able to do it too. It doesn't work the same way. This is not me encouraging men to be chasing cheeks out here, but it does not work the same way. Tell me this. When's the last time you've heard a girl say, I was really feeling him and I wanted to marry him and he seemed like a husband. Then I just found out his body count was just too high. When's the last time you've ever heard that? You don't, because men and women are affected differently when it comes to their decisions sexually. That's the truth. But guys, these women want you to be Russell Wilson. They want more men out here like Russell Wilson because he represents the ideal type of man to help raise another man's kids. And the point of this is not to convince you to not raise another man's kids. I think stepfathers are needed and are good. But this is a huge but. We can't shame men for not wanting to make this practice the norm, for them not wanting to step up. You can't shame men. They should be allowed to disqualify you because most women think it's a privilege to raise their kids and carry themselves like they are the prize. Check out this video, man, because guys, here's what's happening now. We have a woman who's saying, guys, if you're on a date, make sure you ask a man how he feels about Russell Wilson. That will determine whether he's willing to accept a bad deal or not. Check it out.
All right, women. So I think there's a new first date question y'all need to ask to these men, or first link or whatever. Y'all need to start asking men how they feel about Russell Wilson raising baby Future, because nothing unravels the boys like Russell being a positive influence in that boy's life. Like, I've never seen so many blowback from a man taking care of a kid that's not his. The way men unravel when the topic at hand is Russell Wilson baby Future. What is wrong with y'all?
Wild, wild, wild. Listen, what do you guys think? As always, I'm curious. Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you. And listen, next time you hear a woman ask you, so what do you think of Russell Wilson? Just, you already know her mentality. You already know she expects you to literally worship the ground that she walks on and to submit to her and pedestalize her as a modern woman. Guys, keep strong out here. Keep caffeinated. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.